Good day and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Together We Roll.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I don't know. Is this excitement? What emotion am I feeling?
What is emotion?
What is emotion? And then again, what is everything?
I can give you a very clinical analysis of what emotion can lead to.
It's okay. I emotion you.
She has a plant you could talk to.
Welcome to Therapy Hour. Anyway.
This isn't Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm out of here.
Yeah. But Ryan, we love you.
That they want you to stop drinking.
Nah, this is more of let's continue drinking and have a good time.
It's the internet. We don't care. No one cares.
I'm happy that you have that goblet out. Oh, before we get started, I have to say, big news. We got the art coming in from Corinne Milne. She is doing an excellent job for Brian, for Drake, and Tanya for Nicholas.
I know, I was
They
so...
are...
We got the sketches, and I was like, do I want to do a teaser? Do I want to do a teaser?
She nailed Drake. She did good. I love the armor pieces on it, too. It's just,
I do too. I love the jacket. Sorry.
I'm just like, yes, more.
And then the pose of Nicholas, is it, okay, pardon me, is it Nicholas or Nicholas?
It's
Nicholas.
Nicholas. You say it right. He gets it wrong. It very
Nicholas Necklace.
Okay.
Nicholas Naquas.
And
I am sorry, I did not mean to.
No, the character poses really pull off. Anyway, we got to talk about them when we actually get to show them off, okay? Because we'll show them off when they come in.
Yeah.
But gosh, I was so tempted just to show the sketch work, but I'm like, nah, spoilers.
No, we can do it after it's done.
Yeah.
But anyway, with her permission, of course, yada. Apart from that,
We got...
oh, yes! We got stuff here! In order to make it more, entertaining and more stylish, we're trying out foldable walls. And also, make sure that the people can't see the map behind these walls, because I've been having trouble with, especially when I get a little, overmuch and overzealous with the battle maps. And then I have to figure out how can I hide this in a very open room.
Yeah, that works out well. Yeah, because those are our spoilers.
Well, then the things fall over when you put it.
Oh, yeah.
We tried that.
Yeah, it's all, especially three-dimensional range, when you have flying pieces, and then you're like, ta-da! And half the pieces are gone. Shit.
You literally have individual potion bottles that when you do that, you will move them.
Correct. Don't breathe on it too hard. Let us know what you think. Anyway, apart from that, do we have any other announcements? At this time, we've released the first announcement that our first recorded episode...
Well, yeah, that's going to be kind of behind the scenes.
That will have happened in the past tense.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, yeah.
So it's kind of like,
You're having a Spaceballs moment right now.
When will that be now? Soon.
Let's get back to another episode of Together We Roll, everyone. Let's hit the intro. Word sheet. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the intro, because we're going to be changing it soon.
yeah.
Yeah, once we figure out the technology and stuff like that. And
Once we get the art.
Yes.
it's been a while.
And put forth the effort.
Oh, yes. But, like I say, labor of love, that's why we're here, and we love sharing this with you.
Just the maximum effort.
Amen. That, and plus we get to place with the toys and get the excuse to buy shit. Anyway.
Speaking
Looking
of,
for a corporate sponsor.
Sparks has a new monitor.
Oh, yes.
Well,
We glossed over that.
We did.
We were so impressed from Hero Forge that we started to buy more miniatures from them, especially in that color print, and they do a awesome job.
Well, here, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead.
There were
and
a couple things that we had to touch up, but it's
Just
still
getting closer.
just
All the way in.
It's too. There we go.
enhance,
Ooh, nice.
enhance.
Still a little blurry. It's kind of tough to get in there.
I got it. Let's do
You
that.
can also do the 360. The 360 will
Well,
be much
they're going
better
to see it a
capture.
lot more.
Let me
Just
go to 360
don't die.
there. There
Just
you
don't
go.
die.
Even closer, right up on top of it.
All the way in the front
There
of
you
it.
go.
There we go.
Now, see, the 360 has practically zero range on it for focus, so you can stick that sucker right up against the lens.
I feel like pointing out you could take
Yeah,
a
it's
picture
lovely.
and post it to Facebook.
I mean,
instead
yes,
of trying
true.
to do this in a live video format.
Well, that's two-dimensional.
Shut- So it's a video.
Details.
Coming soon, 3D. Together we roll.
Smell-o-vision!
Oh, no!
Not with Eck around.
There are
You do
certain
not-
horror games that smell-o-vision should not. No, yeah.
Why don't we just do virtual reality?
Four-dimensional, they can experience the headaches.
We could do a together where they roll drink along, where like.
Every time someone says something, you take a shot.
Or you do, no, I'm not talking a drinking game. Like
We
That
dare
will kill
someone
someone.
to write it. Write it
We'll do it.
and share it, and we'll sing it here. We'll try.
Well, don't make
Maybe,
any
we'll see.
promises. Are you fucking insane?
Yes, that's why we're here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
playing D&D.
I mean, come on.
Anyway,
We
so-
fought a rock
and
and a dragon at the
okay,
same
okay.
time in a sky ship.
Say in a basement, like there was a balcony over in the woods over here.
It's a semi-basement.
It's a first story.
I'm just saying, it was a very derogatory in a basement. Like,
Hey, D&D is always played in the basement.
In attempts
Wherever you are
to
playing D&D, you are in a basement.
in attempts to reel everyone back in. Come on, fishes.
It could be worse. We could be plugging corporate sponsors.
Correct.
I can't stand those YouTube videos that last for 25 minutes and the first 15 is, and, you know, this was paid for by...
Some
Yada,
random
yada,
gambling
yada.
game disguised as fun.
Yes. Anyway,
All right,
I
let's.
do-
Like Genshin
say-
Impact too?
No.
I'm fine with us derailing if it gets these two to act like it's a prom in the 1990s with the little fishing thing. Like, I'm all for it. You missed that? They did that.
yeah. I'm the one that brought it up, and
Maybe
I
we can
knew
get the
I was.
stage hook?
I set it up anyway, but I am proud of that. Anyway,
It's like plot hooks.
so
Let's roll some dice.
as we get back to the group of the Silver Menagerie, I do love that name.
I'm
Even
silver.
if we're slightly less menagerie.
Well, yes. As you guys are traveling and are in first contact of this of the nation, I can't speak. Let's try that again. Dead chicken. You guys traveled, scared from the Rosian Empire by the secret police of the Tempered Eyes, more so in certain departments of others. Bastards. During this time of travel and during this expedited retreat, so to speak, you found out that you were being strung along, played, quite well in fact, but you caught on quicker than most, and miraculously traveled 800 plus miles in an instant due to some butterfly effects, I just call them.
Divine intervention.
Divine intervention, only because someone was about to muck about with the engine of the ships that would quite literally drop them from the heavens above. Pretty much.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
You say it like it's never happened before.
You say it like it's already happened.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened, but you know, D&D's crazy.
Isn't that exactly what happened?
However, the universe gives and then takes, as you unfortunately find yourselves in the Mana Storm, and then attacked by a rock and a dragon at the same time, along with its wyvern buddies. You succeeded in slaying everything in the sky, but at the cost... Are we okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because every time you touch that thing, you do realize it's going to cause just a hell on people's eardrums that have headphones, right?
Nope.
Okay.
We'll fix it in post.
But at the cost of your ship. But...
Rented ship.
Rented.
Didn't cost us shit. Insurance was included.
Very true. But it was still 5,000 gold pieces for 1 day of trip.
Here's 5,000 gold pieces.
No,
Her 5,000 gold pieces.
because I have no concept of money.
She's never getting a ship.
During the battle, however, not as
Why? I
many
can
people
afford
died
another one.
because you were very skilled in the combat and very lucky. There was a chicken loss. Nico, the warrior about a chicken, died.
May he come back as a gloom flower.
You do have his skull.
Turn into a necklace.
And due to some impressive skill checks to the captain, landed the ship, kind of. It was a emergency crash landing as half the ship was gone, in the river that you needed to go to. And you started to move forward after killing a doppelganger and having some unfortunate conversations with some brothers.
I feel like
You moved
that's
on.
a big thing to glaze over right there.
We're not getting that scroll through customs.
You started to be
Oh, that's right.
hunted.
I just remembered where we are.
Yeah. You're in the Roaring Mountains.
For whatever reason, like I glossed over like last episode entirely. Like I kept thinking like we were still going to be dealing with Ga.
Oh,
Like,
no,
no,
no.
I forgot. We actually went and did that fight with the great big. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
It's a recap
You
for us,
traveled
too.
over the river, and luckily, over a 1d4, how many days you were far away from where you need to go, I rolled a 1. So you were pretty bloody close to where you needed to go. And you made contact with basically the border control of the Warford Nation Hardcore, meaning Carver, the warrior that seemed to be in charge, and also the Warforged Titan, 40 feet tall thing of slab of metal, known as Bouncer.
And by made contact, you mean they fired a cannon over our head at a horde of velociraptors.
Correct.
Contact.
It was still contact.
There's some tension that I felt needed to be acknowledged.
And during this interaction of many different questions and also strange and concerning answers, on the very least, a message came through Spirit, the local caster, saying that you are invited to the trial that is being held for the person that vouched for you. As the Council of Tempered Thought invites you in to their chambers. With that, all of you boarded, along with the remaining crew of the Golden Phoenix, onto the backside of this troop carrier Titan Warforged. Bouncer, as it walked through the river and begins its trek through the river to the city of Warforged. As the mammoth creature, half submerged in this river, but still just impossibly massive, this building-sized construct sentient creature moves its way upriver as if each footstep causing this strange butterfly effect in your stomachs as it lurches one side, then to the other, and again, having the rush of water part from its legs and lower abdomen. It is still evening, and you guys are still on the side, or on top of this Warforge, where there's seems to be 3 sitting areas, as they're currently pretty much filled up to the brim with all the people that are with you right now. Carver and Bouncer seeming the only 2 individual Warforged that are currently traveling with you and the rest of the crew.
Ooh, so point of order. Are these actual Warforged, or the Gearforged, or they Steamforged?
They are
Make an
forged.
investigation check.
They are forged.
Wow.
They're not forged by
Like,
war.
that's
They are
a-
forged.
Now, do you have dark vision?
Yes.
You have dark vision? Oh yes, yes you do. So yeah, they're right next to you.
I think everyone has a variant of, just not everyone has a combat-ready variant.
Right.
You took my goggles at night, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where I got them.
I forgot that you got the new helm.
I got the new helmet, so I
Water,
got the goggles.
water
What am I
speed
rolling?
and investigation. Because you're actually taking the moment to actually.
First roll of the night is a natural 20.
Woohoo!
This is
Okay.
Well,
really
there's
cool
all your
looking
luck
dice.
for the rest of the night.
Right, I know. So it's a 27. Please don't ask me to roll anything else.
Due to this natural 20, I also roll a history check. Because this is going to involve more information based on how much you know on history.
Uh-huh.
Those are like the prettiest dice ever.
Ooh.
So roll a history check, please.
For sandstone. But I just rolled it. Okay.
I know. Because of the natural 20, you're going to get something additional.
That's a 1! I'm ready!
Yin and yang. Anyway, you're
From
still
the
going to
same
get
die.
additional information, but not as much.
No,
whatever.
wait. I touched it.
Okay. These are in fact, well, at least
I
the
typed it
classification of a war forge. As you look at this, almost like a scrap build of various different. In the beginning, on just a cursory glance, is bunch of bits of scraps across his body as he's currently just holding himself on one of the hooks of the side of the domed ceiling of Bouncer. But you realize that they're actually very carefully crafted pieces of metal that actually go along with his muscle structure.
So we're like Mad Max style Warforged?
It's almost like Mad Max style on what it looks like, but it's actually definitely engineered in precision building.
A lot less BDSM.
What a lovely day!
You notice on his right hand, though, even though he's covered with a couple axes on the side, some throwable spears, and what looks to be some sort of hidden compartment on his left arm that looks like it can part, but you're not sure what's on the inside. On his right hand has an additional digit apart from his left hand.
Ooh.
Realizing that there's an additional digit, so instead of 3 fingers,
Okay.
it's 4 fingers, including thumb. And on the natural 20 investigation, this is definitely a Warforged. As you see the knots and turns of the inner workings, that is very root-like. But you notice that his hand is probably some sort of weapon that can pop out and turn into some bludgeoning-based object.
Okay.
The giant thing that you're on is short of a Colossus.
Yeah.
There's a different type of Warforged known as simply as a Colossus.
It's a siege machine.
It is a siege machine and is quite literally a mobile fortress that is able to house and move literal castles.
Wow.
That is all you get due to the natural 1.
So it's a warhound.
It is a Warforged Titan, the top of his class, but missing an arm. Having a flashback of imagery seeing its right arm seemingly capped off or severed, with only its shield being able to be deployed.
So, how long do you think this journey is?
Carver currently just moving naturally with an entire lumbering of the beast. It's about 9-hour trip.
Cool.
Get yourself comfortable. What you need to do, let me know.
I don't know, that didn't work out so well for us last time I tried.
We got there faster.
We did. But things sort of, well, you saw it.
I
Let's not.
wouldn't...
It's only 9 hours. We don't need to make it go any faster.
I don't know if I want to go faster.
We're outvoted.
Excuse me, we don't need to make her go any faster.
It's a her.
Bouncer.
Bouncer is a her.
How does that work?
Those are not questions we ask in public.
I'll tell you when you're older, Rick.
But I would really like to know how they grunt the half shell. I really would.
We don't warble the turtle.
What?
I'll tell you when you're older.
They're all talking about fornication, right?
Yes, I believe so.
That was my question, actually.
How much room do we have on top of this thing?
Because
So
I don't do anything with
the
that.
entire surface on the top is 20 feet wide and a good 15 feet deep,
great.
but it's domed. And on the backside of this domed, almost like
Shell.
it's not really a shell, but it's quite literally if you take a domed shield and place it upon your back and start carrying it, kind of deal. It's very much like that. There are 3 sitting arrangements that have back-to-back steel seats that are very resemblant of a tank feel, so to speak. So they're steel seated and they're able to sit at most about 7 each, be aligning the sides and then the top and bottom for each 3. And then there's additional hooks that are going off to the side and slightly above that you can hold on to.
This is massive. It's amazing.
It is a moving multi-story building.
It's a walking tank.
So I want to try and work my way away from everybody else and...
Yeah, so these 3 seating arrangements, is there like one of them that has less other people in it?
With the amount of people that you have with the crew, which is
Using
about...
people in the loosest possible terms.
You have 18 crew, essentially,
On here as well?
on there as well. So it is pretty tight. You guys can decide if you want to take the left, right, or center seating arrangement.
I'm hanging on one of the hooks.
Okay, so you're hanging on
because I don't get tired and I don't have to worry about falling
and
off.
for you, it's pretty easy to
Just
lock in. Yeah,
because it's designed for me, the same
it
height
is.
and everything. Finally, I'm not too tall for everything.
no, you're not.
Mind if I just lash onto your back and take a nap?
Sure,
Okay, so
I've got the baby.
Using your not glamour but
cloak of many fashions
cloak of many factions.
with
Yeah.
a belt and a hook on and a nap. I'm out.
Pretty easy.
My caster, my pocket caster.
Basically.
See, she needs to become able to ride me as a mount, just so I can have a pocket caster and get
Just
the
saying.
riding effects.
It's like Baby Yoda on the back. Is like anyway.
There would still be no half shell involved in that.
Oh.
My half shell is a shield.
Well, now it's creepy.
So if you want to be
Heck, we need to find somewhere to sit, preferably without an audience.
Not gonna happen.
I agree. I have some things I need to ask you.
Me? Not. Okay. Let's find somewhere away from everybody else. Walk up to one of the areas where the Warforged are. Yeah, shame about that trial. Anyone sitting here is going to find out things that they don't want to know and might get in trouble for knowing later.
the only other Warforged apart from Sparks is Carver.
Like, it's all just...
It's all.
It's
our
just
guys.
crew.
Oh, okay.
So the crew look up to you. I'm good, and they start shoveling over to the other side, and you hear, oh, that's my crotch, man! And as they start to slowly move over to one side.
So wait, we have 2 Warforged juggernauts, the Titan, and then all the other people we had with us.
Correct.
No one else came with.
No.
Okay.
It is very lightly guarded, but then again, you're on the back of a
Oh,
giant
I
Titan.
missed that. Somehow I thought this thing was also bristling with the border guard that came.
Correct. Well, when
like
you
the
originally
thing.
saw it, there were a bunch of barrels on top of it of other Warforged, but they all got off as soon as the essentially refugees, got onto the back of it.
Probably-
It's almost like they defend
I rescind
that
my
border
I
point.
rescind my unpeople crack. I was referring, of course, to the Warforged.
I thought you were referencing the fact that dwarves also don't constitute people in your eyes.
No.
Racist.
I mean, yes.
Uh,
The whole time.
Egg, what can I do for
Literally
you?
the whole time. Oh God, what was the horrible thing that I came up with for you for the Warforged?
You'll think of it. You're dreaming about it. You'll think of it.
Oh, exhaust pipe. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Glad we didn't hear that.
All right, moving on.
As
Right.
Niquist is dreaming about
Ooh,
terrible
lifter.
things.
Egg, what can I do for you?
Yes.
I'm dreaming about SARS.
I look
I
around,
missed
see
it.
if anyone is trying to pay attention to us.
Make a perception check.
I'm doing the classic.
Right?
Yeah, very like
This is the start of a racist joke.
No.
maybe
12.
12.
Straight up.
Of the Thretha crew that are now quite literally stacked on top of each other, seeing a couple of dwarves thrown at the center of it and are currently just sitting on the knees and legs of other dwarves.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
I'm
The two people
Right.
that catch your attention are the Huntress, the female elven Huntress that is currently just keeping an eye on everything. And her eyes are a little wider than normal.
She freaked out.
Not, I wouldn't say freaked out, but definitely like, I'm alert. This is not a normal setting, so I'm a little... And then you see the Warforged Carver that is currently just holding with one hand, looking straight forward, but has one little glint of red that seems to be in your guys' direction. Still definitely doing his job.
Can we turn the face out toward the bushes as we're
Right, so
walking?
you just sit, theater
Act
seating
like
and
we're
watch
watching the beauty of the countryside.
You're actually looking towards
My, the
Sparks.
swamp is lovely in the middle of the night.
I'm looking towards Sparks.
I'm basically
Yeah, because he's
I'm on
holding on to
shoulder.
the other side of the shoulder.
If you look, that's 2 we're on the same team then.
He's maybe at
We're in that
most
prehistoric
5
jungle.
feet away from you guys.
I'm wondering.
7 maybe.
I'm saying this as trying to. I don't want to have my mouth toward other people's eyes.
Okay.
So For the first time in my life, I'm wondering, and I can't believe I'm even sharing this with you. I don't know who to trust anymore. Gaw may be our friend. He says he's my brother, but he's been lying to me this long time, and I never have lied to him ever. And now, you could be in the same position as him. You're hiding things, and I know it. Why don't you just come clean? Are we about to start a war? Are we going to try and prevent a war?
I wish I knew.
What does your mother have to do with this? Is she in league with Gaw?
Tangentially, likely. This crimson, the eye. Yes? You know anything about them?
No, I don't. Well, do I?
Roll a history check.
The tempered eye.
All right, here we go.
Sorry.
Here we go. History. Hold on a second. I have to see if actually. Oh no, apparently not. It's based off intelligence. Never mind. Here we go.
Roll away.
Good luck.
5.
As much as you know as based off your experiences from your other adventures.
No, I don't. Apparently, they're involved with the Varosian Empire,
They-
just as the Marrakech are, and maybe the Marrakech is a made-up name, like the Tempered Eye. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore.
So,
Sorry.
keeping in mind that you can no longer be sure of whom you trust. And let me add a step further that anything you tell anyone, including me if you like, might come up later. You don't know how. You don't know when these things are going to get into the hands of your enemies. And you have to protect yourself. And you have to protect the people around you. Giving me information that might lead to me being harmed or killed or targeted doesn't help me.
We don't know what Gaw's gonna put in that container.
This container? I have a pretty good guess.
He has to respond every
He does.
day.
He does.
He has it.
Oh, he has it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, last time I checked,
Oh,
he had it.
Give
Yes,
it back to him,
yes.
still
I
do work
recall
on it.
he was given back to him.
So, let's take this a step further. What do you know? You know that your enemies are being given regular information about you. That information may or may not be true. Now that Gaw is nominally on our side, you have to make those decisions for yourself. Me just being here, I put everyone here in danger. Now you ask about my mother. You ask who the Tempered Eye are. Well, you didn't ask that, but I'm going to tell you. The Tempered Eye are a clandestine organization. They exist to further the goals of the Varosian Crown and the Varosian Empire. They answer to no one. Anything they do, anything they can accomplish to weaken the enemies or further the goals or strengthen the Varosian Empire is acceptable. You and your brother, the slave trade, collateral damage. As much as you might not like to hear
I have a
it.
feeling we were just one finger of this arm of the Varosian Empire.
My mother is a very highly placed, highly powerful enchantress. Very gifted in fucking with people's minds. She can make you hers without you ever knowing it. You want to talk betrayal? Grow up in that household. There are a number of highly talented, very, very, very powerful agents and forces at her command. She is part of the Tempered Eye. I don't know how far up the chain she is, or if she's even part of them, but she's related to them. They interact. There is a group of them that are highly trained assassins, hunters, yes, exactly. They can show up at any time.
And they're here to do what?
Well, that
Apparently they are keeping us alive because they want something else that we are taking them to? They're trying to find this hidden forged city?
I wonder about that. I think it's definitely...
They let us go. They gave us a ship.
They did.
We thought, oh, how convenient. But apparently it was too convenient.
They did let us go. And they didn't have to. Which suggests to me that as much as I might think otherwise, I might not be the primary target here.
Who do you think is?
It might be this city. In any event...
Well, of course, there's one thing that people don't call me smart, but I do have instincts. And I live off my instincts. My instincts say that we are being led here because they want us to have us be led here. They are putting us exactly where they want us.
That damage has already been done. They know where we are, they know where we're going.
Do you think any damage has been done yet?
Oh, no. What I mean is that they're already on their way. They're already coming for the city. If we have served that purpose, we no longer serve a further purpose in that grand scheme. They know where this city is.
I recall when I was working with the Marquette, when my brethren, who I dug with the mines, were no longer capable and no longer needed. What happened to them? If we're no longer needed in their grand scheme, I don't know who we can trust anymore. This is why I'm saying this to you, because I don't trust you. And I figure I might as well let you know it. Because if you ever do anything to harm me or anyone who I consider friend, the last thing you will breathe is blood from your neck as I clamp down on it with my jaw.
Fair.
Another lurching of the movement of the colossal titan. Looking around, the scenery hasn't changed much based off your conversation. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do as you guys are continuing traveling? Maybe an hour or so into the journey.
When we hit dawn, because that should happen before we're done.
Oh, do we actually have to?
I cared then.
I guess we do have to consider resting, don't we?
You can take a long rest here. It's not going to be the most comfortable thing, but you can attempt to take a long rest here.
I'm just going to lock up.
Fine.
Yeah, you're doing fine. You're pretty much
Pretty
Yoda.
comfortable.
Yeah, you're Yoda on Luke's back.
Effectively.
Rock to sleep.
I'm just in there slowly swinging along, just kind of negating most of the movement of the Titan.
You're doing great.
I'm a gyro, basically.
So, as you guys continue traveling, the scenery changes a little bit, but the river seems to stay somewhat in the same diameter. Those with higher investigation skills notice that it's slowly, ever so slightly getting bigger, like maybe a few inches at a time as you travel hundreds of feet. About 2 hours into the journey, Carver points out, right there, yes, as the whole body lurches forward as the arm scoops up a bunch of rocks and loose debris and seems to bring it up to the shoulder height. Not like dumping it on you guys, but it's currently just holding like this as Carver gets off and walks up onto the arm and across this steel beam that is actually the shield itself, making a very good platform to walk on. As he goes over and seems to grab a loose piece of broken branch or debris from a tree that has fallen naturally, about fist sized, that goes up about a foot or a half, and he comes back, walks him back in place. Thank you, bouncer, and smacks her on the top. And he just looks around. What?
What's that for?
For carving. As he takes out a knife and begins to...
Carving a rock?
No, a piece of wood.
Oh, right. I just saw a pile of rocks.
I like carving wood, so what?
That's why it's called Carver.
Oh, you thought I was a carver of flesh.
It fits.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Is everything racist here?
Get that a lot.
No, but it seems to shut down people.
Not sure I approve of this.
Well, I can't make a joke. Alright, fine. I won't do that kind of joking. What kind of jokes you do? Ooh! As he takes off a chunk of wood. So, what happened?
To what?
Come on, spill the beans. The trial. Why is he on trial? Snare, yeah.
We only had one interaction with Snare. He was hunting 2 bullets.
Okay.
There was an area just outside of I forget what city it was, but after we had taken down, or we had rescued a few civilians from Illithid, it was a road that was closed off to Galdorn. He was going to try and hunt them himself.
Just sounds about like him, but this is a lot of detail I don't need to know. I just want to know, do you know why he's on trial?
No.
Come on, spill the beans.
We interacted with him, assisted him in cornering and trapping and killing the bullets.
Okay.
He then sold us all of we sold him all of the eggs, and he went back. And now he's on trial. We don't know what happened. We took the big boulder that they had and sold it to Galdor.
Dwarven pinata.
It's a dwarven pinata. We couldn't get into it. So
Speaking of, you want to just. We do not know anything.
Fine, be that way. God, I was going to carve your face in this wood.
yeah, that's about all that's happened. I don't know why he's on trial. Perhaps it was his business that he bankrupted because he bought all the eggs. I don't know.
What business? He doesn't own a business.
Not anymore, anyways. He said something about a business. I don't remember.
Let's go find out.
How much longer?
A few more hours, or halfway through it.
Drake, what happens if your mother or these assassins... Well, is your mother trying to kill you?
I ask myself that frequently. What happens? Couldn't tell you. Maybe the entire Varosian Empire descends on the city. Maybe she sends one or two elite agents to come and take out the crown or destabilize something. Maybe they're already there. Maybe they're... Who knows?
Do you think these pretending people, these...
Changelings?
The changelings, do you think they're part of the... They're part of the Marraket, apparently. The Marraket is apparently filled with changelings, and it appears that maybe the Tempered Eye are as well. Maybe you're a changeling.
Knife. It's red.
Wasn't it blue?
Human?
Nature check. I don't know what color it's supposed to be.
Roll a... Okay.
He turned his head into a canoe. We should know what color it is.
We should viscerally know what
That's
color
true.
it is.
That's
Yeah,
true.
okay.
I have seen this.
Roll a
recently.
persuasion check on how persuasive you are on convincing him. Yeah. And are you talking about your blood?
No,
16.
the blood of the changeling that we turned his head into a
It
canoe.
was a doppelganger.
Yes, it was a doppelganger. I used changeling.
I know that. I'm letting
It was a dark, oily substance.
There. So it should be blackish.
Okay.
Super easy to distinguish at night, by the way.
That is true.
All right.
God, that's so weird.
You know, it'll heal quicker if you don't do it on the palm of your hand.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Maybe your shoulder.
Anywhere with low mobility. Back of your hand. Even.
But that's all right.
It's
Every
faster.
time that you hold your gun, you'll think of me.
Well, all right then.
Thought he was right-handed.
He is. That's why I never did the left
I'm
hand.
not left-handed.
You start to notice very similar encampments as you guys pass by. You see a cannon or two off the left and right side as you see like almost like a secondary border control. You don't see any other titans, but you definitely see warforged that are not hiding from you as you are on the back of this colossal warforged.
Because he also has a titan.
Mm-hmm.
That's stealthy.
No, they are not stealthy. They announce their presence pretty well.
I mean, it has a foghorn.
As hours go by, the 5th hour, 6th hour, 7th hour, and then 8th hour, you get you get a long rest. So heal up any heal points that you've lost. Regain half the number of
Nice.
hit dice of your level, unless you wanted to do something in the meantime, because you only.
Dawn. I care about Dawn. I
Okay.
don't give a shit about
It- It's at the 8th hour. It is just coming into dawn as you see the golden light starting to hit the very tippy tops of the mountains themselves.
I immediately pull out my lantern.
Okay.
No, my sending stone, and I communicate with Aranet.
Okay.
Specifically, and I say, I have something so delightful about the breaking of bonds for families. I will be sending it to you promptly.
A moment goes by.
Did I hear that?
Roll.
I didn't hide it,
Okay, yeah. So yes, you hear it.
No.
and then memories
yeah.
set.
As I was going to say, a moment goes by and you just hear, delicious.
I did say Aranet, second in command. Okay, that's not alright.
Yep. Throws you off a little bit.
That's. We should talk about his personality at a later date. But cool. So sending the memories.
Are you relishing in my
Question.
challenging mental state?
That's a very broad question. I will need you to be a bit more specific about your mental state challenges that you think I'm observing.
I don't know who I can trust anymore.
Oh, that. I wouldn't say it's an excellent learning opportunity.
Oh, excellent. A learning opportunity. I get it. All right. I'm not dumb. I get it.
What's your question,
Of course
man?
you're not, dear.
Do you have any idea whether or not they have any sort of connection to the realm of the faith, Shadowfell? Anything like that?
Who doesn't? Question: who has connection with the?
Tempered high, preferably.
Oh God, yes. You
Oh.
bet.
Lovely.
Best torturers come from there.
Roll from a history check, actually.
You're not wrong.
We should probably stop sending them stuff.
15.
We are standing on
Okay,
a precipice.
with your
I didn't know
loose
we were doing
connections
it.
with how they
They're
deal
coming
with
with us.
things,
We need to stop.
they don't really deal with this fate in general. They have other, more sinister means of connections to other planar. You're not quite sure which one they favor, but it's definitely not favor.
That's not to say they've never been used, but it's possible.
It's not the
Okay.
primary one.
Honestly, I'm not too worried about it. We should just probably stop until we know for sure.
No. I also check to see if I've gotten a response regarding the appearance of the little chicken goblin.
Yes, there is a response. There's a held message on it.
One of your little stones is blinking.
Yeah.
Yep. The same stone, actually. It goes somewhat like this. It goes,
A message waiting.
after some serious looking for a goblin, chicken goblin, it has been contained.
That's very specific.
Contained.
Do you know how many goblins come through here? There is no, that was the recorded message.
Right.
And that's the end of the message.
And then I just used my one sending to Aranet. No, is it memories that I can only send once or messages?
The memories you can send once a week,
Right.
but it sends all of them.
Right.
The sending stone is once a day, but it can receive a message and hold it.
At any time.
From multiple senders, yes.
Yeah.
But even themselves, they can only send it once a day. But if they have multiple locations, and
Alright. But that means that tomorrow I need to follow up with instructions on what to do with it.
correct.
Anyway, did you actually try to tell me to not do this?
I'm just saying that we don't exactly know where our leaks are completely yet, so we should probably just have a little caution before we give everything information out to people, unless we know for certain it's airtight.
Let me put this in terms that you may understand.
She just called you dumb.
This is an academic institution that does not care about any of the trivialities that you all deal with beyond what we can do with them. If the tempered eye has any connection, we are using them, not the other way around.
That's fair.
To be fair, that is also exactly what they would want them to think.
To be fair, I will turn them into nothing but grief and send that to kill their leaders.
It's hard to control who is controlling who when the puppet is controlled by a puppet.
It's very simple. You extract the grief and you shove it into a sorrow swarm.
Left me hanging.
She's on my back.
It's still within range. I mean, yes, it's 20 feet wide, but it's filled up pretty
Left
well.
me hanging.
we need to evaluate that we have a very love, hate, hate, love, love, hate, love, hate, hate, love, hate relationship.
I feel like you think I have way more extreme emotions towards you than are possible for me to come up with. It's like minor annoyance, minor enjoyment.
Love, hate, 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 love, hate relationship.
To be fair, that's probably his wavelength too.
Yeah, alright. The spectrum of
What you don't
neutrality.
know is that inside
Monotone.
that monotone metal shell is a riot of emotions. You just,
With that big of a child, you don't want a tantrum coming all on.
He's on a constant roller coaster. Whee!
Given that you're a ways away, I would like to use Mage Hand to fist bump.
So your
Wow, left me hanging.
your hand is already down on your actual self, and you just feel, and you just look down and see this spectral, almost like shriveled hand fist bumping you.
That was cool. You know what? I'll take it. That was the coolest thing ever.
It actually leaves your hand pretty numb.
Wow, indeed.
The river seems to open up now that you're actually able to see beyond your dark vision view, as the golden rays of the sun start to peer over the mountainsides itself and opens up, and you see immediately the riverbank a few hundred feet down as you continue with the last hour of your journey open up dramatically as you see a massive river. Not sure how deep it is. Lake that this river feeds into or is fed by this lake because you're going upstream.
I just want to do a quick interjection. Was that the first time that I revealed the phrase Sorrow Swarm?
Yes.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Does that register for any of your characters?
Definitely not these two.
yeah.
Not even remotely.
Yeah.
Okay.
These two, unfortunately, would
okay.
have no
I have no idea.
Yeah.
See,
Did you have any facial cues indicating recognition?
I assume at this point that Drake pretty well knows, like, not high level specifics, but I've got a broad guess of what.
Right, but when I said that, did I know that you went, oh, Sorrowsworn, you say? And, okay. And I can't brain read you, so that's what I needed.
You don't know the secret knock.
Gotta get in there one day.
He'll leave the window open one day.
Knock, knock, we got ice cream. Oh, good.
Just feed it through the mail slot.
There you go.
That didn't go well in Scream 4.
opening up to this big lake.
It's open up to a big lake. Now, at this point, as you see, you don't see many other rivers, at least substantial rivers, that feed into this by itself, apart from just minor streams that feed into this lake itself by the surrounding mountains that dwarf everything around it. It is a valley that is encompassed by mountains surrounding it. Very much of the other valleys that have been separated, making its own separate ecosystems here. As you continue through, the lake is not very deep, as the Titan actually raises a tiny bit and is a little bit more out of the river itself, maybe about 10 feet deep at this point, as it continues. As you look around, you're not sure where it's going to head to, as you don't see any civilization here. As another stomp.
We need to go down.
And a strange, haze goes over your vision, as if you're passing through a field.
Oh, and then we were going under the water.
Yeah. And suddenly, civilization.
Whoa.
At the edge of this pier-like city.
I know, welcome to Wakanda.
Yeah. Very much like that, yes. As you pass through some sort of magical field that actually completely erases what they have done here. The landmass has not changed at all, but the buildings and the structures and plumes of smoke and the villages.
On the lake or on the mountainside?
As you look over, you see at the edge of the lake, there's a bit of land that encompasses on the back part of this lake that gently reach up towards the mountainside itself. So you see what a city that is almost like a part pier, part regular city. And it's arranged in a way, in a semicircle, half-circle placement. That almost like the center of it has been placed at the pier and then has been gradually growing out in a circular fashion. And you see at the borders of this city, deep entrenched, almost like World War I trenches that have been dug on the outside of semi-tall walls that make a strangely pattern of a gear that completely encompasses the city itself. And you notice the Titans in the river walking around. As soon as you see all this, a bellow roar, almost a more bassy, bellowy Titan horn from Bouncer announcing their presence. As the shadow hits you from the right side, and you look up, seeing a 40-foot long, 20-foot wide, massive cannon that is the size of your actual Warforged Titan that you're on right now. That is in the middle, somewhat middle of the of this lake. That seems to have been placed on a movable platform with multiple tree-sized stumps that have been placed alongside of it, along the entire circle, that look like Titans can grab onto it and twist the entire thing in one direction. That is currently facing the entrance of the river.
Ah, that's a gun.
Wow.
Is there any way for me to investigate the magic field?
Make an Arcana check.
I'll be doing it right with you.
Make an Arcana check.
Why, I'm so glad you asked.
You know, this is fucking cool.
That would be a 4.
4, with everything that's coming in, because it's not like a gradual, like, oh, this is new. It's like everything at once. So it was a little too much for you to narrow it down. Like, oh, and it's, unfortunately, when you pass it, you're like, oh, wait, the magic field! And
26.
26? Okay.
So I got you.
Yeah.
drawing out like
It was the first.
schematics and.
If anything, it was the first thing. You're like, oh, it's the magic field. I need to study that.
Oh my God! There's a huge gun over there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wow. But the field You're not sure.
Not a fish. Not a fish. I just play Ek at home.
The magic fields, you're not quite sure the very specific magics of it, but it is definitely similar to a 8th level spell that I forget the name of, but it's actually, it covers a lot amount of terrain and doesn't remove buildings as it did with this one, but seems to like put boulders where buildings are and seems to glance over it and make them very natural in terrain.
I'm blanking on the name too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not major. It's way bigger than Major Image.
It is
it's
much bigger,
terrain,
but the amount of coverage it's doing is much bigger than normal. But so there is some sort of you think on it, well, past 25 DC, there's definitely some sort of apparatus of some sort inside that city. No, the construct, something that is actually like a generator for this. That is specifically made to disguise the city to not be here. Which is why it's been hard to find them.
And you told me all this?
Yeah, I'm just drawing stuff for you. Here, it's gotta look like this. That there's gotta be a machine somewhere over in there.
Yeah, arcane. And you're just thinking on how much it would create to create such a thing, or even the concept behind it, and it's just like mind-boggling. Like, this would take a lot of time. Anyway, as soon as that happens, as you're passing, you see the gun and the bellow of the horn goes out. Two smaller, considerably smaller Warforged Titans that are maybe 10 feet above the water's surface compared to your massive 20-foot tall unit that you're on, that just seem to grate with the presence of the Titan's horn and pass and go to an entrance down the river, seemingly reinforcing the incoming forces by going out to the front lines. As you continue to walk step by step, maintaining this average 10-foot shallow lake. It's very shallow. Maybe getting about 15 feet, but always keeping between that 10-15 foot shallow lake across the entire thing. And you notice that the Titans seem to be all outside. And then you start to see pathways that are much wider than normal streets of the city. As you see bits and pieces of movements of this very big city that is spread out and oversized.
Los Angeles.
Using the past, just that last investigation check, seeing the massive cannon, you look a little farther deeper, seeing these deeper grooves that are going along this circular city that is half submerged in the river. You notice in the very back of it, perched up on a cliff face, not too high up though, that is still part of the city, but at the very edge, at the very part of it, you see, and it plays with your mind a little bit as you see a construct of a dragon, which is not too much, the sea is probably another Titan. And then you notice that's a 3-story building, that's a 4-story building next to it. As this thing is fortress size. And you remember that the history check, this is a Warforged Colossus. Unknown on what power source that might be able to power such a mighty entity, it still is there across the entire city, a beacon of military might and destructive power at the very edge of this city that dwarfs everything, currently laying down upon this ridge, head curled around and the head facing towards to the rest of the city, seeming like a sleeping giant watching over its children.
Well, now we know why they built the city here.
As you guys get closer to the pier, you start to see the pier and its workings. 2 ships is all you count. Amongst 7 Titans that are moving around, moving things back and forth, cargo of what seems to be netted material, and another one that is currently taking a giant tree trunk and is currently hitting with its other stone-maced hand, seemingly pile driving it into the floor and doing construction work.
So it's all built on a lake.
Not all of it is on the lake. Half the city is on the lake.
Edge of the lake, yeah.
It's on the edge of the lake where it has a dock and a pier that the Titans seem to be mostly in. because they're much bigger than the cities themselves, even though there are several routes for them to walk across. But they can't exactly mingle within the city itself too much because they have a chance of crushing things, as Titans do. But they are very good at construction work.
Obviously.
And you notice at the dock itself, as you guys are getting closer, as you start to see 50, 60, 100 warforges, all separate and unique, big and massive, skinny, some others skinny, others that have different formations and have multiple feet, almost animalistic in nature as you get closer and closer. And those that you see are all dock workers. And then you start to see dragonborns, gnomes, halflings. Not as numerous as the Warforged itself, but definitely there. A few humans.
Wow.
A couple of elves. Mixed mingle and working with everyone here. Even though the Warforged are the definite dominant race of this city.
Are outcast races more prominent than the standard races? Like more dragonborn than human?
Okay. The Russian Empire is definitely a human empire.
Yes.
Is that your question?
No, I'm saying in this city, which is predominantly Warforged, but then you have additional races. The outcast races, which are Dragonborn and all of those, are those more prominent, or is it more of an equal distribution of the non?
Make a perception check, because you're just starting to see the city and just its dock workings.
19 plus 23.
23? You'll probably get a better idea when you actually go into the heart of the city itself. But based off of what you can see, it actually goes from rarity in this fashion, because I knew this was going to come up. Wrote paper.
Of course. Our wonderful DM who can plan for everything.
You start to see this before anyone else. You see a lot of turtles here.
A lot of
Turtles.
I thought I'd
Turtles.
be...
As you initially, you just see them as warforged because they're covered in nooks and crannies, and you see packs on their backs as they start to shovel along. And as you guys are starting to walk towards the pier, where the Titan is, as you see the dock itself seem to be made specifically for Titans. As it steps down and it actually gets further into the river, as there's been a trench digged out from the area that it stands in, so that the dock gets equal level for its back as it turns around. As you see turtles. So going from this rate, it goes from turtles, dragonborn, gnomes, halflings, and then humans.
Okay, so yes.
You're not sure on the proportions and how much they're mixing, but on rarity, that's what you're seeing.
Okay.
Certainly is not
And
the
no
other.
dwarves.
As far as you can tell, nope, not many dwarves that you can see on the dock.
But I don't even see any... pardon
You
me.
do see it now as you see 1 turtle, 2 turtle, 3 turtle, as they're working the docks
Red
themselves.
turtle, blue turtle.
Green turtle, purple turtle. As you see sploosh, as one of them seems to walk itself out of the water itself onto dry land, and the second one.
I
the
wish it
third
was
one.
easier to tell whether it was a male or a female, but it's always hard from this angle. It's hard from every angle.
Thank you. I was just
Yes, you're right.
The Titan dock, as the dome of the platform is first a good 10 feet below you, and then the Titan seems to sit, half burying his face underneath the water, making the dock perfectly flush, so that you guys can get off quite easily. As the dwarves immediately,
Just like Captain Jack Sparrow.
with the sinking ship.
I maintain my current position of not needing to exert physical
I
effort.
don't need to get out of the
You're still on his back until further
Yeah,
notice.
I'm just swing up down.
And you're used to having the things, bow under your weight.
Just-
It is sturdy. As you see another juggernaut, and another juggernaut, and another warforged that is equally big in standards. As you see, one of them is currently holding an entire anchor, just holding on his shoulder, and is currently walking past you.
I'm glad I changed my armor.
Not
Don't
heavily.
worry, you are way shinier than any of the other ones here.
I'm glad I changed my armor because I actually look
So Drake
shiny.
will get off the boat and look around and see all the Warforged and like see the absolute lack of humans and let.
Getting your hood over. I didn't realize you had a hood.
Very,
Right?
very inconspicuous. Very inconspicuous.
And then Carver starts to speak up after he lands right next to you. I need 5 volunteers! And he turns towards the dock workers. We need to take these refugees for proper processing and handling. They are new to the city. Treat them as your brothers. And what?
Different meaning this time.
Yep.
The inflection was different.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though they're doing dock work, they just seem to place their whatever they're doing down, give a little bit of cursory glance of whoever they're communicating with, and seem to join the line as they bring out basic weaponry and just hold it to their sides.
What language was that said in?
Common.
Okay.
He turns over towards the dwarves and to your guys. If you don't mind, we are going to take the refugees and make sure they are properly handled. They will be given proper treatment, food, and rest until we find a way to return them to their homes if they wish to do so. For you, I think you have a different plan. As he points off down the road past the dog, and you see amongst the battle-hardened, very rugged warforged that, even if they're not trying to, they definitely have a strike of, we've been built for war. Many of us have handled war. And we just, exactly. And we are armed. Our entire bodies are weapons. Which is very disconcerting, because as you look around, as the civilians of this populace, each person here knows how to kill. And then you see a cute, if I dare say, as you see a more rounded, more smoothed out warforged that almost has the that wears robes, almost like a librarian female. But you definitely see the metal structure behind it, and you see the lack of an organic face on top of it, and you see a hood of a scribe that is over her head, and she's running down very clumsily with a giant book in her or tome in her arm.
Skids,
Yeah.
sparks.
Funny enough, as soon as she hits the transfer from land to dock, she stumbles a bit.
I'm
And
guessing Dex,
skids.
Dex is not her strong suit.
See, not robots. Not robots.
As Carver quite literally just kind of gives a cursory bow and begins to do what he needs to do with the other individuals, as he hands you off essentially to this very small and dwarfed individual that is maybe 5 feet tall, 5'3",
Looks a lot like me, sort of, except she's...
rounded face, soft eyes that have a little beady green eyes, behind the lenses of glasses that she's currently wearing, robes that are pink and blue, that has been written in what looks to be some sort of basic arcane symbol for passive investigation, primordial, around her robes itself.
Okay, so walk up, pull back the hood. I have so many questions. Like, do you actually need these?
And she kind of grabs it. I do need those, thank you very much. And I'm pleasure to meet you. My name is Quill.
Hi, Quill. Drake.
Pleasure to meet you, Drake. I will be your guide for today. You will,
I was told you would be my brother.
well, I can be your sister.
That's actually not a bad thing to be a brother.
So, you said that, but then you were betrayed by a brother, and you just said you'd be a sister, not a brother, and you said that it's a difference between inflection and connotation, and someone please tell me what a brother is.
You're a traveler. She opens up the tome immediately as the page under its own
We were all
power.
travelers. We all just walked in.
And her
Well,
hand seems to extend into like three, as her 3 main fingers extend out in very, almost like a quill faction, and she starts writing.
Oh, that's
With a single
gonna be
shoulder.
efficient as fuck. Writing 4 lines at the same time.
3 fingers only.
3 fingers, like 3 lines
Which
at
is
the same
her
time.
2 fingers and a thumb. And she has more fingers than the normal 3 of most Warforged. And it's very dexterous, and they seem to be multi-jointed for each finger, and it's just like, well, that's not normal.
We're in the quills.
I'm going to repeat what he said. I have so many questions.
Right.
First of all, how do you get here?
First of all, what is your intention of all of your records?
I write things down.
That's
I write
What is
everything
your
down.
intention of what to do with them?
Research, I don't get a lot of outside news, So
This is personal use?
personal use, yeah.
Nothing will be published.
Oh no. I don't want someone to read my notes.
So put an arm around Quinny. Walk and talk. Let's go.
Quill.
And I'm literally right on your side.
And she takes her hand, kind of lifts you up. Consent, please.
consent is key. I'm walking behind her now.
I got here through a door.
Wait, hold on. What? Sorry?
I got here through a door.
More on that. First, let me go into introductions first. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. Which, that can be fun too, if you want that. First of all, you've been invited to attend the trial of TWR Snare that is happening at, tomorrow. You got here a lot earlier than expected. With the Council of Tempered Thought, yes?
Invited as in to watch, or invited as in we're supposed to be like on the jury?
Or invited as in we're going to be standing next to him having our fate decided. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
No. Nothing is based as that. But yes, your personal
it'll
border...
be much more complex.
As far as I know,
Yes,
we're not
much
citizens
more
here.
complex. I can...
We're not citizens here, so I don't think we would be on trial here.
Let's let the lady speak.
Thank you very much. Turtle...
Egg.
Pleasure to meet you.
I like your shape. I like your shape.
Thank
This is
you.
arousal, correct?
I think so. I'm a little unclear.
Flattery, formality.
Oh, was that flirtation?
No.
Again, I'm a little unclear.
No.
She writes a few more things in the book.
So, just to be clear, you're saying no in that way that indicates that you're very obviously lying. Are you?
Why do you know everything?
So he
She writes everything down for knowledge. She writes everything down for knowledge. Are you noticing a trend?
Anyway, you are being invited as people that have seen the situation happen. So the council has questions.
Witness.
That is, you are witnesses. Yes.
Witness.
Yes. That is all I'm able to give you because I don't know much myself.
Gotcha.
But until then, you are allowed permission into the city under the watchful guise of the council and being vouched by Templar G. Snare.
Vouches for me, and I vouch for them.
Very well. Do you understand the vouching rules?
No.
The vouching rules is that if they break the law, you have to suffer the same fate as if you broke it yourself.
Gotcha.
Which is why...
Please don't fuck me over.
Yes.
what? So if he vouched for us, but Snare vouched for him, and that's the only reason he got in, then doesn't Snare suffer the fate instead of him?
Oh, he does not suffer. It goes one up. That's it.
Okay.
Snare broke the
Second
rule. So...
question.
Okay.
Snare's on trial, so why is his word of vouchment considered worthwhile?
Because the trial is yet to be complete, and the punishment has not been made due to he is not guilty yet.
In
yes,
other words,
the
I kind of owe him.
accusations have been leveraged, so why isn't his vouchment considered?
I'm sorry, I'm unclear on this. If he hasn't been ascertained guilty, why are we having a trial?
He is currently under trial, and the council wishes to speak to you. So technically, you're under the watchful. You're under
he is
vouch
under
from the
trial to
council.
be charged.
I've got this.
Yeah, but
So, it's gonna take a loop, but I'll get there. Trust me. So, in the court you're used to, it's like the unseelie court, where they know you're guilty and then they charge you.
then they just figure out what they're going to do to you.
Yes. This is like the Sealy court, not the unsealy court. The Sealy court, they think you might have done something, and then they want to talk about it to figure out if they think that
How
you've done
intensely
something.
wasteful.
You're from
Why
the
not just
unsealy
find
court?
out whether or not they...
You're from the unsealy court.
I am familiar with both.
That seems intensely wasteful. Why not just find out whether or not they're guilty and then have the trial?
It's proposed to be fair.
To who?
In my experience, at
To
least to a
everyone.
lot more political applications.
It is a different system than the Empire is used to, assuming you're from the Verosian Empire.
Guilty as charged.
She writes it down. Funny.
I knew it.
No.
It is quite radically
Chip on his
different
words.
than the trial system of your people in the Verosian Empire. We try to go of a more impartial route. We judge.
You put innocent people on trial?
They might not
How
be guilty.
barbaric!
Well, let's see how you feel after the trial itself. Perhaps he might not be guilty. Perhaps he might be guilty. That is what the trial is for.
Do you know?
So,
What is he
are
being
you
tried
saying
for?
that where you come from, you only put people who are guilty on trial?
Of course, that's why they're on trial. They're guilty.
He is
Well,
suspected for being guilty.
We're going in circles. Let's just walk.
why-
We're going in circles.
But why?
I'm sorry. It's so good I couldn't resist.
Yeah, I know.
As I'm.
Walk. We'll figure it out later. Just go. Don't
Well-
engage. We're done.
Where are we heading? I'm your guide.
Oh, good point.
We were informed that there would be
Library.
processing.
Yes, the Council of Tempered Thought shall be doing the ones that are doing the border processing.
And you can confirm that tempered thought has nothing to do with tempered eye, it's just a nomenclature similarity.
She stops and looks at you.
She's asking all of my questions.
Do you know what the tempered eye?
She opens her book and writes it. What is your relations with the Tempered Eye?
We don't.
I have no relations.
But yet you know of their existence.
I know of the existence of many things, and you continue to be evasive to a question that poses very critical to whether or not we participate in any trial.
I think there's a misunderstanding here. You asked if
I
there's any
asked.
relations. I need to know. First of all, no, there is no relations.
Of course not.
You will never believe me, and that's always the case with the Tempered Eye, those barbaric people.
It is hard to tell if you are a puppet when you yourself are being puppeted by a puppet.
Innocent people. Trump.
The only ones that can truly maybe convince you is the actual council itself. So you can ask them while you're at the trial.
But
What I say will do nothing about that. But please tell me that you're not part or have any connections with the Tempered Thought. Please.
No. Can we go to a library?
No voluntary connections.
Shut up.
Why? Are you nervous?
A little. Shall we?
Library, please.
We've been assaulted by them.
Several times.
All right. Library.
Yes.
What are you looking for?
Information on several things. I'm in need of another fuel
Well,
cell.
I am a bit of a lore hunter myself.
Okay, I'm in need of another fuel cell.
First of all, do you... Oh, fuel cells? Easy. You don't need to go to the library for that. But, yes. Do you have any more books, by the way? Please tell me you got new books. I've read them
Don't you
all
have a
already.
bunch we took from the elephant? We sold them.
No, we didn't. I still have them.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're a bit of, a closed city. We don't get a lot of new books.
Do you want to buy them?
Yeah.
She kind of points her hands towards you as the finger...
You're not giving them away.
No, of course not. But
Okay.
she can copy them.
I'm fine with that.
She's ignoring
I'm
equipment.
fine with that.
She is the equipment.
What?
What?
I think that was racist.
What is that thing again? What the?
There's that word again. We keep going back
Everyone's
to that
using
word.
it in completely wrong context here. Everyone is.
I'm fairly certain that calling any forged equipment constitutes as
Ooh, that's a good slur. That's good.
It's anything that Drake would say. I consider that it is likely racist.
See, but it's not racist because I'm the one saying it.
You see, that's
Oh, so
not-
you get to use the word, but we don't?
Precisely. Because I understand.
We have a book of human slurs, if you want that.
Yes, indeed.
I
Can you look up Drake for me?
Like Drake, as in...
Yes. Is there a human slur for Drake?
I'm talking about a slur for humans. And one of them is
Oh,
actually...
sure, we've got lots.
Okay.
Mayflies, round eyes.
Oh, I was talking about walking fertilizers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Skeletal slip covers.
Do you-
That's
I need to
one
find
too.
information on some sort of lost technology from the ancient war that I may have acquired at some point that I need to figure out what it is.
That said everything and nothing at the same time.
It's a small ball.
Do you actually bring it out?
No, I'm describing it. I'm not gonna bring it out. It's a ball with a bunch of cogs and it ticks. Kind of feels weird when I try and connect with it.
If you could see her, even though she only has small glass eyes with glasses behind it, her head just kind of turns because she has no mouth.
I'd bring it out, but I don't want to bring it out in public.
Private then, yes.
It's about yay big.
Battery first, yes?
Yes.
Battery first.
Is that what you call them? Call it a battery?
We can call them battery, we can call them fuel cells.
I have
usually
the
call them fuel
the
cells.
mostly empty one.
would be nice to finally get you
Fully charged.
fully charged, so we don't have to worry about him murdering Drake in his sleep. I mean,
Oh, that would be very bad, yes.
I have two cells.
Fasting tar is definitely not allowed here.
was that my outside voice?
Are there any, as we're walking, I assume?
Yeah, we're
So-
walking.
What are the other ones? I remember reading about different types of fuel. Are those accessible?
Unfortunately, those are not accessible to the public.
They only have copper top here.
Unfortunately, the structures in order needed to build such fuels were prioritized for the basic fuel cells right now.
Understandable.
They are available, but usually have to be connected to certain households.
Please tell me the shop's got a big hanging sign with a pink bunny.
Where did that come from?
I am so
Oh
lost.
shit! Yeah.
Copper top, pink bunny, rum.
The Energizer Bunny.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Jesus Christ.
Gotcha.
Why are Warforged bards better in sunlight?
Why?
It gives them a nice copper tone.
That's a good one. She writes it down in the book.
Or
I just thought of it! I'm so proud of myself! It's not as good as Auto-Tune, but it's solid. Auto-Tune is the best name for a Warforged bard. I know what you
Auto-Tune.
I agreed. I agree. Auto-tune.
As you guys are shoveling along through the village,
Tuner.
sorry, not the village, from the city itself, the buildings are tall, spacious, and separated. The first thing you realize that the Warforged people that are here, even though I've already said that each one is trained and built mainly for war. Though, strangely, trying to, you have a soldier that has served in a very long and painful, bloody war and is trying to downgrade into civilian culture. You have that very similar tone to it, as they're all very alert, very individually broken in their way, but the Warforged here, not all of them armored, some are armored, but they all seem to wear some sort of basic cloth, some sort of chiseled marking across their surface, or some sort of paint. Some more paint, but it's paint that seems to be marking them and giving them individuality, even though they might be copy-paste from similar models. They all seem to be wearing or holding or having something that would be able to give them individual looks so that they can identify themselves. And then you start to see the more animalistic ones, almost like a centaur, as you see one of them, quite literally, a centaur bill that is currently strapped to a cart and is pulling across one of the wider roads that are about 15 feet long. That is nothing but small rock pebbles that are lining the street that is currently doing a wide arc. And then you see another one that has almost like a panther-like body on the bottom part of it. You see like turtlenecks that are metal walking piles of almost looking like junk. But as they move out, their armored shell seems to expand and give them almost like a transformer arm kind of deal, and then go back in and go back into a boulder, and another one seem to be a little slower than the rest of them. But each an individual person or warforged here is completely unique to another, but all specifically made for a task.
There's a message here.
And you see
Everyone is unique, and everyone has a special purpose.
as you see the rest of the organics the Dragonborn, the humans, the gnomes and halflings, though much less. They're working along with side by side these Warforged. You don't see any outbursts of hostility towards one another, and they seem to be coexisting.
This is. Am I dare say that all cities should be like this? This seems almost. This is perfect. Everyone's getting along.
It's not perfect. There is no such thing as perfect.
You see
Also, we've been here about 5 minutes. You've got a crush on the librarian, and you're dealing with the devastating heartbreak and betrayal from Ga, so you're probably romanticizing just a little bit.
That's a fair assessment.
Knows too much.
You know, the longer
knows
she
too
talks, I don't know. The longer she talks, the more I'm starting to agree with her. That concerns me a great deal, and I'm not sure why.
What she said or what she said?
Yes.
What kind of
It's not a crush.
What kind of households are there? I suppose
just
like
an
clans.
aberration.
Are they clans? Are they houses?
Huge
Are they
aberration.
factions?
Oh, you're asking. Oh, you're those households. Quill turns around. Well, we have a number of houses. We have about 6 or 7 major households that are actually the ones that are the leading producers of new Warforged, the Younglings. As she points off to one of the less covered in various different ornaments Warforged that actually has strange paint splats on them across their bodies. They are the ones that are able to actually produce enough resources that actually are able to, well, bring new life.
How does one create a warforge?
That is a very complicated answer, but in short, it is imbuing stone, metal, and wood with a soul.
It can't be that
Ask
hard.
where they get the souls.
Actually, that is complicated.
proprietary.
No. We're not like those necromancer assholes, okay?
I feel like that's very aggressive towards a very broad group of people.
Isn't healing technically necromancy in a way?
In a way, yeah.
The
Well,
difference between healing and necromancy is largely a matter of timing.
No. It is, yes, all about timing. And healing is what I do. Remember, you're alive.
No,
because-
magical healing.
well,
Magical healing, isn't that like a type of necromancy?
not a- no. That's,
No, yes, sometimes.
There are societies that would totally agree with you.
Correct.
Magic is a varied thing. I think the pigeonhole.
There's a reason I stick to my swords and shields and my armor.
She stops all of you before you go across the stone pebble pathway as you a rumbling sensation seems to vibrate everything. As you see off to the right-hand side that's going across the road, a massive 15-foot round metal ball of various, almost like a roly-poly, but in massive armored version form, as it's currently rolling across the road. As you see a different variation of a Warforged Titan that is connected on either side with a massive cart of metal and springs that is holding what looks to be a massive snail that is 15 or 20 feet in its hump that has strange orange and red eye sockets, like 9 of them that are currently slumped over that have spiked out. And you notice that the actual snail shell, it has this strange glossy appearance to it, like a rainbow color.
Like
Is it
whale
dead?
snailing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Just in massive form.
What?
Is it dead?
It is definitely dead.
Okay,
Like,
so the
like,
Titan
what?
killed it and
What?
bring it in.
What are you at? I missed it.
Yep.
Flail snail, she said.
Okay.
So the Titan killed it and is bringing it into the city.
Or something killed it and it's currently being transported by something that can hold such a
I mean, kind of
massive
like,
thing.
I don't want to be around anywhere near the battlefield where that thing
I
is
don't
fought.
want I don't want that thing delivered to my doorstep. Like, they killed it, it's bringing it home.
I think we're in a
You
more.
can use it as a home. They're quite comfortable.
I think we're in an area that there are creatures around this place that haven't been seen often, except for you apparently, because you're from the Fey world.
I'm noticing.
But there are these more primordial creatures all around.
The Vonfield Mountains, as the Vrosian children will know it as, also nicknamed as the Roaring Mountains, is filled with all sorts of secluded wildlife that has not been touched by time itself. A lot of dragons live here due to the natural bleeding from the elemental planes that just the ley lines naturally across here. And then you have the primal beasts of the velociraptors, T-Rexes, pterodactyls and stuff like that, and giant snakes.
I reached down and grabbed some of the stones.
There's just basic pebble stones.
Like smooth, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
River rock stone.
Yeah. It's the best thing for titans that go through a city street. Otherwise, you have to remake the bricks every time they step on it. Anyway, let's go. As she ushers you forward. You find yourself looking at a small shop amongst various other shops as the amount of noises of clanging metal, forging equipment, and then something that describes of like something clicking very fast. And again, you're not quite sure, and you look around, you never heard this kind of rapid succession smacking before of metal upon possibly other metal. But anyway.
We don't hear what it is. We don't know what it's coming from. We just...
It's amongst the various buildings, and at this time, you don't know where it is. And she points at one of the shops that doesn't really have anything apart from something in... What languages do you speak?
Sylvan?
Sylvan?
Common, Draconic, and Abyssal.
Unfortunately.
Elvish, Sylvan.
Or Infernal, sorry.
Aquan, Common, and Dwarvish.
Unfortunately, in a language that none of you speak. As a small little... In these buildings now that you've looking at these buildings, it is a strange set of buildings that is a combination of Elizabethan-type buildings that have met Industrial Revolution. So it's a very... Interesting choice.
Steampunk.
Pretty much, yeah. As you've seen these multi-layered buildings that get bigger on top of each other, that also have the bending of steel girders or other webbing of metal sheets that also have glass in between them that are infused with these buildings at the same time. And another thing that strikes you is that even though it's bustling and constantly moving and doing whatever they need to do, it is incredibly organized and clean here.
I mean, they don't need to eat. They don't need to sleep. They don't need to.
Well, no, there's other organics here.
Well, many of the Warforged. The Forged don't need to eat or sleep and don't have any like expendable.
There's being cleanly, but this is like cleaned. Like it's been sanitized constantly.
So a thing got said in a language that none of us seem to recognize, and I'd like to say, Quill, do you know what they just said?
Oh, that is Gnomish.
I
Do
figured.
you know what they just said?
No, the sign.
It's a sign.
Oh.
Yeah. It is a...
It says.
Oh, the sign?
Yes.
This one says... Nuts and bolt tinker parts.
Huh.
It sounds like a you place.
I'm gonna go in there and see if they can help you out with this little ball that I have.
Sure. It's also the refueling place, too.
That makes
If
sense.
you also need normal routine maintenance, they can do that for you.
I can always use a tune-up.
I'm right here.
I'm going to
The door opens, partly metal door that normally you have to, and you find yourself subconsciously bowing down to get past the front door, but you realize, you don't need to do that.
It's 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
I just reach over and pat him on the shoulder. No offense, but this is kind of their specialty now. Here, so. In the field, I have you. Here, I have them.
I'd like to dismount and wander around the shop.
Oh, you've been on his back this entire time.
Why does she need to walk? I don't get tired.
That is true.
Her weight is negligible. My pommel weighs more than her.
You unclip as soon as he opens the door, and you start to wander.
It's like a little easy, fast release backpack.
Why not?
Flip on and just hang.
I mean, it's functionally what it like. It's just two belts that I kind of like strap around myself.
We just need some
and
Velcro.
then-
Just put a Velcro suit on you and just have you jump and
Just
land
jump
on
it.
me.
As someone who's worn many things reliant on Velcro, I'm not supporting my weight with Velcro. Thank you very much.
That's fair. We'll just do hooks. It's fine. Just have you hang on the chest or back.
So when we stand outside the shop, and we go running in, Drake,
Ooh, more awkward, intimate conversation.
As three of us go in, you two are left outside.
you know I have my eye on you.
Yes, you've made that abundantly clear. Do yourself a favor. Worry less about me and a whole lot more about the people that we're running from.
That's the point. I want to know more about what people are... I already know who I'm running from. I don't know who you're running from, other than some assassins, and we still don't know why. So, I'm going to be looking for you to make things right.
Shopping?
It's a good start.
Right.
So as you guys go on another direction with Quill guiding to wherever you wish to do, you see this right away. As you enter, you see a rather open and spacious area that instead of like a counter and then the actual normal classic forge of a fancy sensing, you see a chaotic but organized pile of various scraps, nuts, bolts, and shelves along various areas of like almost like doctor sitting rooms with a slab of stone that is currently sitting at a 45-degree angle with a footrest at the base of them, as you see a line
You
of...
don't have like bolts, or do you?
I'd assume not.
And you see three of them side by side, and almost like an anvil, but it's currently like a pillar at a slight angle, as you see a warforge, a more classic warforge that is a little thinner by nature, especially compared to you, that is covered in leather and various different areas to hook and slide things into, as you see bandoliers upon his body, and is currently taking a small chisel and with some glasses that is currently seemingly etched stuff into a piece of stone. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I was told that it could get fuel here.
Oh yeah, hold on. Damn it. Takes up two pieces of stone and tosses it in the corner. She steps up. Alright, let me see your fuel cell. What type?
I honestly don't know.
Do you have a... Can I see one?
I have a spare. This is one I took out recently.
Ooh, pretty used.
Extensively. I'm not from around here.
Do you want a cleaning and refilling, or do you want new ones?
What's the difference?
You're new, aren't you?
Exceptionally.
May I hug?
Sure?
He hugs you, O lower torso. Welcome to the Forge Nation. I hope that you find yourself happy here. Anyway, so we have the normal SAL, S-A-L, or Wisdom, if you want to call it that, the normal field for the Warforged. For you, so it'll be 10 gold if you want a normal cleaning and refilling, and 15 gold if you want a new SAL with fuel in it.
Can anyone spot me 15 gold? I literally have no gold. The entirety of my suit
It
costs
is a little expensive, but they do last longer. How long has it been since your tuna?
What's a tuna?
I'm right here!
Have you turned them up?
No. Go ahead.
Case in point.
I have.
I haven't seen...
It was a while ago. I was shoving stuff like this. Here.
It's kind of...
Pull out this goo. It comes out from one of these...
This Warforged has a jaw, and it just kind of opens.
Do you smell?
Yes, I do, and it smells pretty gnarly.
Indeed. Well, and apparently I just...
I have been searching for more of my kind for
I will
the last few years.
mark one of those kits off.
How many 15
just
gold
ruined it.
pieces?
15 gold pieces each. How many you
It's
buy?
like 30 or more. How many do you want?
I have 2, so let's do 2 and 2 back.
60.
He
Do you want to
gives...
shoulder all of that?
It's 60.
60 gold isn't not much for what we usually get.
How long?
I'm just...
How long do those last? Or, I'm sorry, how long do those last?
After the turn up with him, as long as you don't charge him the battle and never rest for, ever. Essentially, he basically explains it after several definitions. He explains it that for each battle, and battle after battle after battle, basically you can do 10 battles without any resting.
Before I need to exchange 1 or 2.
After the tune-up, you can do 30 battles.
Huh. How much does the tune-up cost?
The tune-up is going to be 10 gold. And half your day.
Well, we have till tomorrow before we need to get to the council, so...
Did you just only buy 1 cell?
No, we're getting
We only
4.
bought 4. So
Yeah, I'll make it up.
70 plus a tuna.
What if I give you the 2 old ones that I have?
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you the 2 old ones that I have, and I'll take 4 new ones.
Oh, sorry, not 15 gold, 13 gold pieces. I apologize.
So I'm getting 4 new ones back, and you're taking the 2 old ones.
Okay, yeah, in that case, I'll give you 5 gold per container.
So...
I got the math.
40...
Don't worry about it.
52?
So the main reason I offered split costs here is because you were very upset when I paid for all of something later.
I don't pay for anything. Do I, Drake?
I think you overestimate how much I carry with me. And turn and walk out the door.
Leaving the 52 gold on there. 62 gold.
Yeah. And that's with the tune-up cost, right?
Yeah, so it'd be 62 gold.
with-
Yeah. Well, in that case, this road.
I would need assistance.
Alright. He helps you disrobe you.
While that's going on, or while all that was going on, I'm wandering around looking for anything that is kind of mechanical constructy like. Something that potentially, if you were to remove the head of it and put a chicken skull on it, it would
You're going to
be
turn it
an
into a
animated
Warforged.
thing.
Warforged Chicken Goblin.
Make a investigation check. As finding something mechanical here is pretty fucking easy.
Oh my god.
But okay, so
Yeah, 16.
16? Okay. So
You know what?
in the realms of
I
necromancy,
just like you for your mind.
so
You don't know this is happening yet? Calm yourself.
so you're looking in the realms of are you looking for like a familiar construct, which you can get? Basically, as you're looking around, you find various constructs that are much smaller in demeanor, and you find some insectoid-based constructs that have multiple legs that are kind of like and seem to be sticking close to a certain warforged or another, and you see others that are more like animalistic-like. You see one that looks like a feline cat, but in metal form, and that has no mouth to it. And the same thing with a dog version.
Are you asking about form or intellect?
I'm asking, are you looking for a familiar robot, essentially? That is easy to come by, easier to come by. But what you're looking for as you start asking questions is more in the realm of necromancy.
No. I want a robot where I can swap out one part.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one part is going to be a chicken skull.
Understood.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you find yourself in a shop that is... And you notice that a lot of the buildings here are copy-paste, as it's been built all very fast and with the same model. So a lot of these are very similar, but as soon as you step inside, they're each very different. You find yourself looking in a shop that has a lot of various different animal parts that have been placed on this display case, robotic versions of it, sorry. And you see what looks to be a partly completely jaguar. You see a cat. You see a dog. You see what looks to be a small dragon version that is pseudo dragon. Thank you. That seems a robotic version of a pseudo dragon, but instead of a draconic phase, it's made out of various different knives and 2 beady eyes.
You totally stick a chicken's head on that.
I was more thinking something that is in the exoskeleton bug category.
You find yourself looking at a Warforged that has a
Want something that's crunchy on the outside.
I want something that looks like it's crunchy on the outside.
Basic leather on the outside, but also has an anvil on his head that has been strapped by leather workings across it. And you see him currently crossing his arms, and you see a third arm that is made what looks to be an additional robotic arm parts that is currently holding things together in a forge. And he goes, "Welcome, how can I help you?"
So these little robot things,
Yeah.
could I get one in more of the 6 to 8 leg beetle to spider category? But, and I reached in my bag of holding and pull out Nicole's head, with this in place of the natural robotic head?
Like replacing their entire head?
Yeah, like just this instead.
He takes the skull.
Yeah.
Pretty small. It would affect the size a little bit, unless you want more of a, comedic effect of a giant body and a small head.
No, I would want it to be proportional.
There you go. So, spider, beetle, some sort of strange creature with many legs. Easy enough. So he takes out a couple of models, and he takes out a round ball at first, and he kind of hits it with a hammer, and it suddenly explodes out underneath with 1,000 legs. That is currently no real true head, apart from like a 2 beady eyes that are forward and backwards that kind of skitter back and forth.
That's scary as fuck.
Yeah. That's right up your alley.
How's that? We can. I can make it a little adjustable so that the chicken head is where the eyes are forward.
That would be great.
All right.
How much?
That's going to be 150 gold.
Oh, easily.
Now, if you want to fix it, do you know how to fix these things?
No, but I have an artifice. 1 second,
Oh, you have an artificer? Don't worry.
I'm still gonna he says don't worry, but Drake!
From another stall down the road. What?
Can you come here?
Run over, open up the door. I've got both guns. What?
Not that kind
No
of
weapons in the building!
Him?
No, the thing.
The thing you want me to? Okay.
Do you know how to fix the
Ah! He
thing?
kind of hugs it! No!
Yeah, of course I can fix it.
Okay,
You
so
want me to shoot it first?
I don't
or-
want you to shoot it.
I'm so confused. Put the guns and walk out.
So he's good. He doesn't need anything.
Are you sure he can fix this thing?
Yes.
Alright.
If he says he can, he will because he knows things.
I'm not trying to be,
Uh-huh.
I'm just, this is my baby. I'm selling you my baby.
I
Horrible
feel
parent.
like if you were that attached to it, you shouldn't sell them based on the comic principles or the constant principles of familial bond. And I pull out my notebook and I start explaining to him the relationship
Yeah, he's kinda just-
between parents and children and how that extends into a.
I'm saying that I've put my, crafting skills, and this took a lot of time to make, so I care deeply, and I'm not going to sell it to a person that's going to toss it in the river.
So this is a matter of craftsman honor, not familial bond.
Yes, baby.
Say brother.
Yes?
Alright. Your phrasing was confusing for me, but I understand that, and I want this to survive. So.
Then we're okay. He kind of scratches his head. Right. So that's 150 gold.
Yep.
As he places the on this dome.
Oh no! I'm down to 510 platinum.
You place 15 platinum in front of him. Oh, wow. As it takes a few hours, but
another shift.
he pops the hood, and it's almost like a domed, ultra version of an older type of Space Marine Warhammer, where you have the shoulder pads go to the top, and you place the chicken skull at the center with the 2 beady eyes. So it has to turn its entire body in order to see things, but as it does, it's just a bone skull head with 2 metal red eyes.
Little murder chicken. Murder chicken.
And as it closes
not a
up,
chicken anymore.
it's just a metal ball that can roll
Where
around
does the head go?
inside the armor plating. But the 2 beady eyes are still there.
And it's a ball.
Yep.
Terrifying.
Absolutely.
Construct, I choose you!
I like the chicken better.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'll give you the stats of it later.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a dead face hugger. You just throw it at someone.
armor that was custom made.
It is just aesthetic. It is just aesthetics.
Yeah, I just
creepy
for everyone's
cat.
visual.
Yes.
Wow. She's more lovable than ever.
It is not my final form.
Yes.
It's nicer than what my first impulse was with Nicole's skull, so just be grateful.
So you are disrobed, and he lays you down on and Court lets you as you are completely laid flat and lifted up a good foot or two, so that he's chest level with you.
I'm waiting for the lightning strike.
He opens up the ceiling. No. And he brings out multiple components, and you notice that his arms open up and various different parts. As you see screwdrivers, you see Phillips heads, you see what looks to be some sort of strange, almost like the tip of a hammer, but has a strange symbol upon it and seems to glow beet red.
That's not a good sign.
Now you're gonna feel a little bit of tingling. Don't worry, I've done this hundreds of times.
Okay.
That
He
metal.
pull out like a gas mask and take a couple of huffs first.
He does kind of push his goggles on. Right. And he begins to starts doing his work. And his other hand also opens up, but not just the top part, but completely separates into like 3 different arms with different components on each. What he begins to do is a little complicated to say, but he actually goes in between the wooden fibers of your being and goes to the joints and parts of your back. It is like a chiropractor version of a warforged. He begins to mess around with your spine. He begins to mess around with certain parts of your inner body that feels weird.
Literal
He
rewiring.
touches you in a way you've never been touched before.
Very much so.
Stop talking.
It's a spa day. For
Yeah, it is quite literally a spa day for you. And at first, it burns like fucking a lot. And you can feel yourself like having pins and needles on certain parts of your body where it's starting to go numb. And then it starts to elevate and your body just goes, ugh, and just completely releases.
He's literally just going in, taking the wires. Okay, we need to cut this section to make it smaller, make it thicker, make it faster.
And well, in the meantime, he's going, wow. Oh, God, yeah, you need some. I should have.
There's no time for me to explain that I awoke about 4 years ago.
Stop talking. I'm dealing with stuff right now. God.
I haven't had maintenance since the 100-Year War.
Stop spicing it up. I work there as well. It's only a 50-year war.
Time is an enigma.
And
You don't make small talk with your patients?
not really.
Not during a spa day.
So, as you are getting your your body taken care of, is there anything you guys would like to do?
Oh, I'm picking up parts.
Oh, easy enough.
Yeah.
It is a tinker's dream.
Oh yeah,
here.
just
And you seem to be in some sort of like forging district. As you are looking around, you're seeing a lot of resources being allocated into this area as various bigger individuals are taking up big piles of scrap and crates and is moving them from one location to another, along with sealed crates of whatever is completed to their destination.
no. I'm gonna spend an X amount of money for reagents and parts for when I build shit later.
Of
X
course.
amount of money.
Just tell me how much you're getting. And
Yeah, I'll
unless
figure it out.
Yeah, sounds good. Apart from that, it takes no more than 3 hours for all this to happen, unless you want to do anything.
Do I have time for a second thing also?
I'm with Drake.
Okay.
I love how you get all of it. Like, I've admitted to horrible fucking things. But it's all you.
I know where you stand.
Sure you do. So, the other thing is, I would like a backpack-like apparatus that detected sunlight and open, like it's a container. I want a backpack for my plant, so that way it doesn't have to stay in the bag of holding.
Okay.
But it's hidden from the sun.
Okay. Yeah, after a few questions, you think it's going to take you a bit longer because normally for like something like this, it really takes a while to get. And then after 2 visits, you're like, you find a small, almost like a dwarven individual, but made out of metal, that has 4 different eyes that have spectacles for each one, and has only 2 fingers or 2 hands that have 8 fingers each.
Oh boy.
And you just walk up to him, and he has a very deep voice. Yeah, I can take care of that for you. And he's only 3 feet tall.
Well, looming over him, I go, very well, and I like pull out the plant. Don't touch it. Needs to hold this comfortably.
His hand extends, quite literally, his hands separate and extend as you see various rulings for each one. All right.
And like as they extend, I look. Don't. And
He turns around. What?
there's behavioral issues. We're working on it.
I'm sorry, I just met you.
Not you, the plant.
Oh, right.
Starts making sucking noises.
Surprisingly, not so much with these things. So it is not like, like a normal leather backpack. Mm-hmm. It is a metal form, almost like an oval capsule.
Okay.
That you can slide the plant in no problem, and has various sensors around the backside, various glass emplacements that actually don't allow it to go inside, but just measure the sunlight.
Okay.
And if it is dim light, it will open up for the top side. That'll be 20 gold.
Hand it over.
Thank you very much.
That's
And
cheap.
Then the last thing is I want to find the smartest livestock available.
Ah! Oh, hold on, let me get...
What?
You're
The
still speaking to the
smartest
same individual.
Livestock.
Livestock.
Horse.
I
Pigs.
have to get the name of the area.
Wow. Oh my god.
Horses are more intelligent than pigs.
She's over here playing Frankenstein. What the hell?
Hello, I'm the one on the freaking table getting
Wow.
work done by Miss Thousand Arms.
Like, he's literally got his skin
He's
off,
getting
and
his
you're
full
weirded
release.
off. Aw.
Mr. Thousand
He
Arms
said
is working
it
on
on
me,
me.
and I'm completely naked.
You're more than naked. Like,
I'm
That's
being
your
pierced.
skin over there.
And over there, and over there. No.
I'm on the floor, on the walls.
He
on the
looks
ceiling.
still looking up towards you, counting gold pieces with each hand, which is kind of almost like a slot machine. Ting, 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 into his pockets with each finger. If you're looking for a smart animal, go to Beastmaster Slobber. He's at the edge of the...
Slobber.
yeah, Slobber!
Mr. Slobber.
Get out of here!
so, to be clear, these are animals that will be consumed, and there's a lot of...
Oh, livestock? He also has those as well.
Excellent, thank you, yes. And so plant goes in bag goes on back, and I go to Beastmaster Slobber.
You go take care of that.
Where's Ek in all this? Or excuse me, where's Ga in all this?
Not with you, unfortunately.
Where did he go?
You got taken with refugees, probably.
He got, within the chaos of the moment, you realize that he probably got scooped up with the refugees.
You should go deal with that.
Crap.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to get this go through customs.
Crap.
Weird.
Quilla's right there. If is there something I can help you with?
Yes.
Sorry, I know. You know,
Where's my...
even a bell doesn't help. You know.
Where's my... Where's the Ga? He is a...
Was he part of the?
Yes, he's a turtle like me, but has a...
Well, if there was only one other turtle apart from yourself, so that'll be easy. One moment. She starts writing in the book. She waits a few moments. Where do you want him?
Where do I want him?
He's currently at the refugee camp.
Well, I wanted to talk to him actually, because, isn't it? What time of day is it?
It's about afternoonish.
All right, yeah, it's getting close. I need to talk to him. Can I just find out where he's at and go talk to him?
Easy. I can have someone bring him here right now. May I ask why?
No.
You may ask.
She writes in the book. Very well. Closes the tome. And you don't move far, as the city is new and built a little differently than what you're used to, which is why Quill is currently orchestrating on how to traverse it. And not even 20 minutes later, you see Gaw currently being shepherded by what looks to be a impossibly thin warforged that almost like
An assassin droid.
very similar to an assassin droid, where it is thin at the root at the belly, as the very skeletal limbs seem to extend out of its body, as its upper torso almost resembles ribs of a human being. This thing is not pretty to look at, as various bits of strips of cloth are wrapped on it and currently dangling from it.
Interesting.
But you don't see any weapons on it, at least on the surface.
It is the weapon.
Gaw, I need to. There's something we never got a chance to ask you about. We talked about you needing to. I take him aside.
Taking your brother Tortle off to the side, the red side head that he has, along with the blue banana that he replaced his banana with.
Gaw, you said you still have the thing with you that you need to send messages with. What time of day do you need to normally send those?
Through a series of messages, he says he receives orders in the morning, and papers leave at the evening.
So this morning, actually, when we were traveling, probably he got some, right? Did you get some?
He looks around.
You didn't get any? Do you normally get them every day? Oh, all right, good. Do you normally have to send something every day? You don't have to send something every day? All right. Well, how do we know when... We've been through a lot together. But I really don't know what...
He shrugs a little, sigh of...
I really don't know what you intend to do here. You said you're protecting me. You're smarter than that. You could have protected me in many different ways. And yet here you...
He shakes his head. Points to your chest.
Was my heart?
He takes your shoulders and points to your chest again. He points to himself and points to his head. And then points to you again. Taking out a small piece of meat. And tosses it. And then he goes like... And then he takes another piece of meat, tosses it in another direction.
Yeah, so we're just be thrown out. And you could be thrown out at any moment. No? God. Damn, I wish you could talk.
He strokes the empty spot that used to be his little jaw.
It's so hard to talk to. I have so much trouble talking with people normally, and then I have so much trouble talking with people who can't talk. But look, I just want to make sure that I want everyone to be safe. And I don't know if I can trust you anymore. I want to. I really, really do. I really want to trust you. But with those papers, I don't know what you're going to be receiving and what you're going to be sending. I'm afraid that... I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm afraid that if you're still here with that scroll case and can talk to the Verosian Empire, we told you you could send notes, but that would lead them astray. But right now, I don't even know if you're sending notes and what they're being said. How are we supposed to... How can I trust you? I can't. I can't trust you.
He
And I don't know if I can call you brother anymore.
looks at you, wise-eyed, and then they sag a little bit deeper, accepting that statement and understanding, though physically hurt from that.
I can't trust you. I can't trust this man Drake that's with us. He's got people chasing us. You've got people. You might be in league with him. I don't know. Can I ask you? I really want you to prove that I can trust you. How can we make this work?
He averting his gaze now. His mind is obviously working. And then after a few moments as you're waiting for an answer, even though he cannot speak, you're waiting for anything to even justify what he might do next. He looks back up to you and just hugs you and then puts a hand on your shoulder and steps away, taking out a piece of paper and starts writing. Seeming to be escorting back right now with the other one.
When you turn around, Drake is standing there with a flask. It helps.
I push the flask aside and I give you a hug.
It hurts. He has a lot of strength.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm not taking a drink. I know you're a good person.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It doesn't mean that I don't need you to prove it to me. I've never been able to trust anyone in this world. And even when I do, I'm challenged by it. And I was thinking that I could trust you, and now I don't know. The only person I've been able to rely on my entire life is me. So if you can understand that, I hope you can make me learn that there's other people I can trust besides myself. But trust me, as I said before, if you don't want to, fine, I don't need you. But I'd rather not it be that way.
To figuring things out.
What do I have?
Where'd you
Brandy. I know, it's horrible stuff. I got it from the dwarves. Ugh.
You know, you said shopping.
All the refugee drawers.
You said shopping. I think we can go find something better.
Oh God, let's.
Quill comes out. Hi, sorry to interrupt.
Please tell me, don't make guess. Booze isn't allowed.
No, we have brewmasters here. One of the things.
Oh wait, time out. I need you to be very, very clear about this. Do they operate the stills, or are they the stills?
Some both.
I want to know where
Brewmasters.
the bug hole is.
Some both, actually. Well, first of all, brewmasters. There are two types of brewings that we do for alcohol.
Already talking. Let's go. I'm
Yep,
out.
as she starts pointing the direction outside of the crafting district. Warforged, we've been made for very, very many infinite possibilities. Some of us have taste, some of us don't. But one thing that does happen is that we are affected by various poisons. Alcohol is a poison. So those that do not taste, they go on trips. Those that do have taste, they have more of the tasteful stuff. So it is up to you if you wish to have a trip master or a brew master. If you have a trip, it will definitely be very entertaining.
I think it tastes very good.
At this point, as she's walking by, this is when you come out of the shop. Relaxed, like you've never been relaxed.
I think we get something for
You
brew,
ran off.
for brew, and then maybe get something.
Unless you
No,
want to be
I
used to
love
it.
this. Like, we're discussing what to get. Sparks, come drink with us.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Where's that crazy elf of ours?
Good question.
I would
How long
love
has it been?
to be like arriving as this is happening. I
Okay.
just want to make sure that I did get livestock and fed some to
Oh,
my clan.
easily. You meet a very, very simply a ranger warforged that has various different wildlife around him that has actually grown into his fabric and leathers. That is an open range, natural, wide fields.
Your plant can go hunting.
Well, yeah, kind of, but it's one of those wildlife zoo areas, kind of, that has natural formed nature.
Nature reserves.
Not a nature reserves, but it's
Corrals?
it's pens that are made naturally with the rolling of the actual nature itself. There are no actual posts or pens that are keeping them in place.
So it's more like a permaculture forest. I
Kinda
get
like
it.
that, yeah.
I don't necessarily want to roleplay this out.
That's fine.
I basically, whatever is smartest that he accepts and acknowledges, it is going to get eaten immediately.
Horrifying.
He has chickens, he has cows, he has horses.
Rats.
No, strangely not rats. He also has, well, I'll just go chickens, sheep, and he has badgers. Badgers are pretty smart, but they're always fucking angry. He has deer, elk, frogs, basilisks, guard drakes, wolves,
Yes,
direwolves,
basilisks.
link dogs, cave bears.
And he's fine with all of this getting eaten?
Well, no, I'm just going through
Okay.
what
I need
what
the categories.
for animals of what can be eaten, or
Yes.
the chicken, sheep, badgers,
Okay.
and
Chicken sheep.
and also
that would be
what
the
he
body
call-
of the chicken, the brain of the sheep. We've
and
been
what he
here.
calls nippers. You see a small little it's the version of a tiny dinosaur in Jurassic Park when those thousands of small
Yeah.
dinosaurs started chasing.
Copies.
Little girls.
Yeah, those things.
Okay.
He calls them nippers,
Okay. Sounds like badger is the smartest thing that's allowed to be eaten. So,
or at least the angriest thing
I
by
mean-
far.
that has value. So I'm going to get one badger and just immediately sling it in the back, like just over my shoulder, strike it.
Okay.
Well then.
So it goes into the canister, and the canister starts shaking back and forth violently, and there's screaming and tearing, and then it goes quiet, and then there's a loud resonant burp from inside.
Pretty much, that's exactly what happens as I was rolling, like how well each one fought. The badger didn't even have time to hesitate, as it goes from purchase, open up the cage, you grab the tail and just swing it in there, and then that happens, as you hear, and you hear rustling and scratching on it, and then a little bit of fur comes out of the top of the backpack. And you hear ripping and tearing and breaking of bones.
Well, now that we're all fed,
So I'm still not back.
And
but, you
a few moments
said,
later-
I believe you said blink dog.
Yes, they do have blink dogs.
Okay.
As you see Slobber, yeah, we got blink dogs.
So that little bit of home, I want one to come with me, and if that's allowed.
Well, you have to, are you good with animals?
I mean, I trained a combat chicken.
We only sell the ones that are young, because, that's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you don't train it properly, they'll just go off.
Understood.
Alright, there'll be 50 gold pieces.
Okay, and then how much for the batter?
1 gold piece.
Okay, so
she's got a blink dog now.
And he takes you over past Wiggles, his pet basilisk that has his eyes been either removed in the wild, that it's a rescue.
Yeah.
The basilisk lost its eyes and is now a pet dog for him.
That's adorable.
Yeah. It is the puggest version of a basilisk, and it's just and as soon as you go past, he quickly just, hey, Wiggles! And he immediately basilisk goes onto his belly, and he just scratches
6
it.
feet in the air.
Yeah, 6 feet in the air. Tongue wiggling.
Wiggles the blind basilisk.
Yep. And this guy is not a clean person, but he's definitely all about nature.
Blind basilisk?
Yeah, a blind
Because
basilisk.
he's got the eyes taken out of the basilisk.
It was a rescue, he says. And you find yourself in a natural open area that has these strange totem-like stone poles that is lining the area. The only area that actually has like a ring to it that stops teleportation-based magics. At least for a short duration. And there is a series of 2 clusters. One for each cluster of dogs. He goes in and tells you to wait out and brings back 2 puppies. He waits at the border because if he steps out, there's no chance of getting it back.
Right.
This is Sickle. And this is Wolfington.
Sickle and Wolfington.
Yes. You can name it all you want, but this is my name, you know. As you Sickle, you're looking at this almost like blink dogs are either very dark or very light. This one's a little lighter, a lighter tone of the tan, and has one tooth that seems to be longer than the rest. And Wolfington has a healthy jaw and seems to have very long nails to it, and seems to be of a darker tan.
Okay.
I
would like to subtle spell detect thoughts on Sickle.
Ooh. Detect thoughts that has intelligence thing, if I remember correctly.
I
Yeah.
think the intelligence thing is 3.
Double check that and I'll look up a blood dog because that is the one thing I did know.
I'll try and find it too.
Not knowing the mental stats of something from the Fae.
Ugh.
Like you're barely prepared.
Ugh.
The amount of stuff he's been pulling out, he's got so much stuff. I mean, he even has down to that freaking...
3 or lower or doesn't speak any language.
3 or lower, doesn't speak any language. Yep. There's intelligence. And you connect. Which one are you connecting to first?
Sickle.
Sickle. Okay. You feel wonder. Eyes on you, eyes around. He's currently like, this is new. And he's currently just open mawing.
Okay. And then I'd like to switch to Wolfington.
Bored. He's kind of sitting there, jaw.
I would like to give it the suggestion of a sense of high energy, adventure, things screaming
To
Wolfington.
Wolfington. He looks over to you. Make a persuasion, or make a either animal handling or persuasion check.
That's a modified 20.
He looks lazily over to you. If a dog could just, you could almost see a smile perk over it, but definitely has that. I'm not excited. I might be excited. I'm not excited.
And then I'm basically going to stay with me and you will get this. Yes or no?
Make an animal handling check with advantage.
That's 17.
17. Wolfington starts to move, and still in the hand of Slobber. You go, is that you?
Yep.
All right. He puts it down on the floor, and immediately, and as soon as he steps out, there's almost like a shiver down its spine, and then suddenly, on your shoulders.
Oh, not on the back, not on the back.
And he starts.
I send it I send it an image of what just happened to the badger.
And then, instead of belts, pocket, puppy.
He's like, he was excited for a split second and then kind of went, I'm cool.
Yep.
Blink dogs are really fucking intelligent.
They are.
Yeah.
I look at him like,
What are they?
that's as smart as me.
Yeah.
Like 8.
Oh.
And it's shocking that
That was a joke at your
Yeah.
expense, but
Slobber comes over, puts down the dog, and the dog immediately inside the pen. And it's like, well, all right. Well, congratulations. If it disappears, that's not my fault.
Yep.
Please understand that.
No returns. It's got there's a sign on the blink of that sentence.
yeah.
Yep.
No returns, literally.
The last thing I want to do to
500 gold pieces.
done.
Man, she's got
Although
money.
I thought
Man, she's got money.
I
By the way.
so much money.
Oh,
thought
I wanted to
just-
tell you, by the way. I have land sharks now.
No, thank you.
You didn't hear it.
I heard. I'm distracted by something else.
Okay.
But first, I want to figure out the money thing because I gave you.
You gave 1 gold piece, and then...
You had said a different amount besides 500.
Yes, you're right. And I gave you the wrong gold piece because there's a list here, and they're right next to each other.
Okay.
It was 500 gold pieces. I
Okay.
apologize.
Do you remember what it was before?
It was, I think it was like 150, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So then it's 350 on top of that.
Yeah.
And that is 35 platinum? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
As you hand the platinum, whoo! All right.
4, 6, 5. Okay. I had to touch the platinum. Excited.
I'm excited too. Thank you very much.
So the last thing with detect thoughts is I want to ask Wolfington what his name is.
Oh. And you get various of... Roll an insight check. Because it doesn't speak a language.
18.
Wait.
Man, I'm gonna roll for shit the second I'm not doing anything.
Never
with
mind.
this dog.
It does have language.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes. It responds back. My name, I've been called Wolfington. But I also like Charles.
Charles.
Come along, Charles.
Are you good with Charles Wolfington?
Yeah. And it's in Sylvan.
Awesome.
Oh,
And no Sylvan?
Does it speak Sylvan better than him?
It does.
Yes!
It can't speak normally, but it understands. It understands Sylvan.
Okay. Even
Wow.
my dog speaks it better than him.
I learned it from a pixie.
Wow.
Pixie that had way too much time. So,
And on that note, my dramatic entrance back into the
Right, as
thrall.
we're collecting people to go drink.
Yes.
Yep.
There's the creepy clickety clack of my contract.
with the chicken in, with the two relays.
Oh, God.
The occasional of the plant in the backpack.
Reaching out the street lights.
And
Specifically for the gnomes.
I will spend another second level spell for this to have Charles blink up into the center of the group as I approach.
As soon as the blink dog, a blink dog is running in mid-sentence, it kind of tumbles.
So
His
Drake,
name is Charles!
Drake was kind of look at Hemingway will look at Drake and like,
This doesn't surprise us.
If there's any opportunities to go drink, I think we've just found it.
Quill looks over. Oh,
I-
blink dog. Sylvan.
You know what?
Right.
I think I know what that is. I don't know what that is.
she didn't want me to
That's
shoot,
just the
so.
clackety thingy.
Drink. We're going to go drink.
It used to be Nico.
Does it know that?
Oh, well, here. He's only missing one thing then. And I pull out a feather.
right in the center like a war feather.
This was one of Nico's feathers that fell out during the combat that we had together in the great arena.
I take it and I don't kind of look at him and then I just like stick it in the armor on the head.
You might want to glue that down. Does anyone have any sovereign glue?
Yes, here.
Sovereign glue.
Sovereign glue.
Best use of a legendary item.
Because, again, I don't think there are any more to go around. So.
There, it's easily able to staple onto one the side because there's not a lot of room on the sides of the actual skull itself because of the armor plating and everything. And as soon as you put it on there, it's jutting out just a little bit, but as soon as the armor closes, it forces back in.
Okay.
And then when it opens up, it flares back out with the chicken feather.
Okay.
Almost like an Indian with a feather on its ear.
Adding with dramatic feather.
Dramatic feather.
When is how much time do we have before this trial?
You have until tomorrow afternoon.
All right,
That's
so
just about enough time to drink. Let's go.
all right, indeed.
Come on, Charles.
We'll see how much. you can
and
make
Charles.
me like you.
With that, we're going to take a small break as you go off, basically pubbing, a booze crawl, and we will take a small break there as you got new monstrosities to call your pet.
Wow.
You got a tune-up, feel very relaxed, and various conversations were had. That's good. Welcome to the Forged Nathan. See you next time.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to say this all the time.
What?
Keep on rolling!
Oh yeah.
That is something I forgot that we kept
Sorry.
closing. I said it with too much passion.
You gotta
but,
your outro, man. Outro.
Outro. I gotta remember. I gotta hop back on the horn.
Push the button, Max.
Push button. Thank you for coming back. I hope you enjoyed another episode of Together We Roll. And until we see each other next time, keep safe, keep healthy, and keep on rolling.
Keep on rolling.
There we go.
Bye.
Bye-bye.